going on, Ranger fans and hockey fans? Welcome to another edition of 407 Rangers. It is your host, Raymond Tapia. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and a comment. Turn on your notifications when I'm about to go live, upload a post or a recap, things like that. So, the Rangers finally got themselves a much needed 2 points out of the Boston Bruins because you guys know last time they gave us a belt to ass kind of situation last time this team played each other. So I will definitely be happy with the win. I mean, you take it and run with it, I guess. But yeah, I mean, this was actually a watchable game for once. Like, can you believe it? The New York Rangers actually played decent hockey at the Garden. Because I'm not gonna lie, when they had the Centennial jerseys on, I was extremely worried. I was like, well, there's no way in hell this team's gonna win with those jerseys on. Those things are cursed. But I just watched the game, waited to see what's gonna happen, how they're gonna respond, or what kind of energy they're gonna bring, and they actually brought okay responsive energy. So I will give them that. I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh, this team's. I mean, they're still bad. Yes, we're not gonna sit here and act like what they've been giving us is forgivable after tonight. No, they still have so much making up to do. Now I also have the updates on the Carson Soucy trade. So Carson Soucy earlier was traded to the New York Islanders for a 2026 third round pick, which basically Chris Drury got back his third round pick that he acquired for Carson Soucy basically from Vancouver. Like, that's all that happened. You pretty much got your third round pick back without even having to call Vancouver for it. So that's like the best way I can describe the deal. Now, well, we don't even know what they're going to do with that pick. Like, you guys know, late rounders, it's like rare that they're even going to see any type of ice time. Like, you guys know, like, usually the first or second round guys are normally the ones that get their opportunities to go play for the NHL and things like that. It's only very rare that you draft a guy like Henrik Lundqvist who happened to be like a seventh rounder, and then out of nowhere he just turned out to be one of the best goalies the New York Rangers ever drafted. It is very, very rare to see that, but like I said, you never know. Sometimes it does happen, but we'll see what he's going to do. I mean, I'm sure he's going to probably maybe use that draft pick for a trade deadline move because I know Drury's not fully done. Like, he's not going to just trade to Soucy and be like, well, all right, I did my part. That's that. No, he still has so much more to do to even consider this being like a victorious retool. And I know some Ranger fans are worried because they probably think like after tonight's win that Chris Drury is not going to push as hard for a retool to happen, but he has no choice, guys. He has no choice. He has to keep trying to get this roster better. Like, if he does nothing after this win, I don't even know if he'll last any more longer in New York City. Like, I truly don't. So yeah, more power to the Rangers for at least putting their effort. Now, Elias Lindholm and Morgan Geekie were pretty much the only three guys that scored for the Bruins. However, they did have the lead for like pretty much all three of the periods until like the third period when Will Borgen pretty much tied the game with his goal. So I'll break down the team stats. The Bruins pretty much had 24 shots. Rangers had 28. For your hits, the Rangers outplayed the Bruins in the physicality standpoint with 34 hits, and the Bruins had 17. Your face-off wins, the Bruins had 29, the Rangers had 28, so they're pretty much evened out. And your power play opportunities, Bruins had one, the Rangers had four, which was crazy because like even though they won this game, the power play was such wolf shit. They even had a 5-on-3 opportunity, and you're telling me you couldn't get a power play goal. But it's the Rangers. The one thing I can tell you is we know they used to be a really good power play goal team, but right now, the way it's going with them currently, your bar has to be set very low when they get that power play opportunity because like it's like the ultimate dice roll every time they get on the power play. You'll see them score a power play goal, but it's so rare now. So as far as the power play, like I have no high expectations with them scoring a power play goal, but the because look how many opportunities they've been having all season. And I can assure you, if you look at the power play percentage and the goals they've had, they've only probably had very few out of all the 50, what, 3 or 4 games that's been going on in the season now. So the one thing I will give the New York Rangers credit for is their penalty kill. Despite how many like penalties they draw, they do allow a couple of power play goals sometimes in certain games, but for the all like the penalty kill is still good despite all that. The penalty kill is still at like 75, close to 80%, I believe. So I am absolutely shocked that despite them having a bad power play like unit, they still have a really good penalty killing team. So I will give them credit for that. So for your power play goals, nobody had none. Power play percentage is pretty much evened out at zero. No shorties. The Bruins drew 4 penalties, and as I said, this team drew 4 penalties, and you're telling me the Rangers couldn't get one goal out of them. But it's the Rangers. Anyways, the Rangers drew 1 penalty as well. For your penalty minutes, Bruins had 8. The Rangers had 2. Block shots pretty much evened out. Bruins had 12 and the Rangers had 13. For your takeaways, Bruins had 3 and the Rangers had 5. The giveaways, Bruins had 16 and Rangers had 13. So the Rangers actually didn't have too bad of a puck possession tonight in the game, but the first 2 periods, I don't know why, like they kept watching the puck and like barely chasing after it. Now, surprisingly, like I said, they would still have possession in their blue zone despite them not fighting for it and scrumming as much and forechecking for the puck, which was absolutely fucking mind blowing if you ask me, because I'm like, wow, this is like they're getting away with practically murder type of game. It was literally like that. Like I'm not even kidding you guys. So for the first period, Will Cooley pretty much starts it off with a deflected goal. Everybody thought Laba was pretty much the guy with the goal. I mean, either Laba or Perrault, but Will Cooley pretty much deflected it in for the first period, and the Rangers were already up a goal. However, Pasta responds right back, and Elias Lindholm answers right back, and then the Bruins are tied up with them. And then in the second period, this was when things get a little interesting because the Bruins, they definitely did respond right back with another goal from Lindholm himself because, like I said, the first period, the Rangers, they weren't doing too bad. They were actually shooting the puck on the goal, actually like out shooting the Bruins for once too, which was actually shocking because like you don't know what you're gonna get out of the Rangers sometimes in the first period. Sometimes it could be a shootless period, like they don't even bother putting the puck in the net, or like they're gonna shoot it and it's gonna like look like an absolute abysmal where they barely shoot anything out of it. So the Rangers actually did do a pretty good job at finding the right shots. The passing was a little sloppy. However, they did get to their spots and execute with the finishes on time, so I can't be too mad at that. So in the second period, right after the Lindholm goal, JT Miller pretty much responded back with a goal of his own as well, and the Rangers were pretty much tied right back in the game with 2 goals each. But the Boston Bruins were definitely like not done. They were definitely going to respond because, like I said, Morgan Geekie he did hit the second goal at 8:52, and then Pasta he pretty much Pasta was going crazy. I'm surprised he didn't score himself a goal tonight. I believe he had like 3 assists. So the Bruins were definitely not making it easy for the Rangers because most of the night they pretty much had the puck possession. They were using their speed a little better than the Rangers as well because that showed you like how much like younger and faster the Bruins looked based off like the guys they had on the ice tonight. But right after that in the third period, pretty much this is when things get a little interesting for the Rangers because everybody thought this game was over because right after the Bruins goal from I believe who did I say it was again? Oh yeah, it was Morgan Geekie. Yeah, when Geekie hit that goal, everybody thought this game was like over. They were gonna bring in an extra attacker in the last 2 minutes, but out of nowhere, now the Rangers were actually like forcing turnovers as well in the third period and things like that. But Will Borgen, at the very last, like, I'd say like 13, close to like 4 minutes left in the game, he actually hits himself a wrister, and Artemi Panarin was set it up as well in that play. So the Rangers did tie the game at 3 goals, and I was like, holy shit, we're either going to gain a point or they might just actually give us 2 points with these jerseys. So they do go to overtime. Now, I do got to say the line was questionable because I don't know why, like, he chose to have Schneider with the Miller and Zibanejad lineup because, like, as you guys know how I feel about Braden Schneider. Now, Braden Schneider wasn't too bad tonight, but whew, I thought Pasta was going to blow right by him and cook his ass and hit a dagger. I really did. But surprisingly, Matthew Robertson with, you're not even going to believe this, Jonathan fucking Quick with the pass on that play. Yes, Jonathan Quick was the one that assisted Matthew Robertson on that game-winning goal because I believe Vinny Trocheck tried to give it to Quick to like freeze the puck, but he saw how far Robo was at the neutral zone, and he pretty much passed it down to him, and he managed to gain the opportunity on the breakaway and score himself a game-winning goal. So yeah, shout out to Jonathan Quick because not only did he save the Rangers from losing this game, he was actually a part of the game-winning fucking goal, man. Like, that is bonkers, man. This man really had an assist. I'm not even kidding. Like, let me show you guys on the ESPN. Matthew Robertson wrist shot goal assist by Jonathan fucking Quick. Like, my God. I don't know what this team's gonna do without Jonathan Quick, man, because even though like they've been losing a lot, Jonathan Quick's pretty much been the reason why like they haven't lost by 15, 20 goals. Now they did have some bad losses, but what can you do? We're still waiting for Igor Shesterkin because apparently he was gonna try to be back today for tonight's game, but I don't know what happened. I guess he didn't return, so there is a chance he could be back in the lineup this week or next. So we'll see what happens. Now, I am going to leave with my final thought here soon because I do got to wrap things up. It is very, very cold here, and I got to pretty much like handle a couple of more things before I call it a night. So, all in all, a good win by the New York Rangers. But let's hope that this isn't another illusion where they give us a win and then they start losing all these games back to back. Now, the most interesting thing is this team has to face the Islanders back to back this week. So they have a game with them Wednesday and Thursday. So there's no breaks in between for them. They're only going to have a 1 day break on Tuesday, and then right after that, they're going to play back to back against the Isles. I believe the first one's at the UBS Arena, and then the second game's going to be back at the Garden. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure Carson Soucy plays either Wednesday's game or Thursday's game. It's one or the other. So we'll see how that works out. I mean, Islander fans are already asking Ranger fans, hey, how do you feel about this guy? Should we be worried and things like that? I will say this. I mean, he did look ass last season, but this season he definitely improved drastically more compared to what we saw when he got here. So if you're an Islanders fan, I get it. You're gonna question how he plays, but I don't think it's gonna be too bad. I would recommend the Roy and Darsh putting freaking Susie as like a fourth or third pair kind of guy for your defense. Don't try to put him in the first or second pairing. Like it's no, that would be, you guys will absolutely hate every bit of that idea if it happens. So if I'm the Islanders, I would just rather you guys see him as a third or fourth pair kind of guy. And I know a Ranger fan should not be saying, they're like, how dare you, Raymond? You should be wishing the Islanders for failure. Well, we can't do that right now because if anything, Islanders are lapping us with their prospect success and everything. I mean, we don't have to have that discussion. Look what they're doing with Schaefer. So, like, come on. This isn't the year to troll the Islanders. If anything, we deserve to get trolled because look what they've been giving us. And the Devils are no better. Like, it's still funny to me how you Devil fans still try to troll this team, but yet your team's not doing any fucking better. Like, what are we doing? Why are we trying to troll shit for shit? It's stupid. Like, you guys need to stop worrying about the Rangers and you need to worry about your own team because Jack Hughes is still made of glass. Luke Hughes is now out for the season practically. And if you guys miss the playoffs, guess what? You're going to be company with us watching them in Cancun. So, Devil fans, humble yourself and just take a break off the Rangers for once, because my God, you guys are like in the most biggest denial with yourself, acting like your team isn't an abysmal of itself. At least Drury's like trying to get out of these contracts. Meanwhile, your guy Fitzgerald, he still not hasn't done anything with those unmovable contracts. So good luck. Have fun with that. At least the Rangers will be asked, but it'll be for the long run and worth it because we're going to be escaping those unmovable contracts. Unlike the Devils, they're going to keep believing they're this Stanley Cup contending team, yet their team is starting to age and it's starting to get fragile because every year, look how many injuries every fucking year you guys have. So I just got to put that out there. Like, just get the Rangers out of your head because they done built a whole city in your brains right now the way it's going. So as always, y'all, thank y'all for watching. I will keep you guys updated for Wednesday's game against the Islanders. I will be uploading the highlights very shortly. Don't you worry. And as always, guys, leave a like, subscribe, hop on the comments because it'd be great if you guys comment on the videos more. I would love to hear you guys' feedback and things like that. So I know this channel is growing, but I want you guys to always know you're always like welcome to say how you feel, comment what you. It doesn't matter what you say. You could troll me for all I care. It'll at least be a comment, but your involvement with this channel greatly matters, and I want you guys to always feel like don't ever feel like you don't have to comment or no, you can always feel free to comment on any video, not just the shorts. You can comment on the live, anything. Like always feel free to say how you feel, what you think about this team because I do this for you guys, and I want you guys to always feel like you're a part of it as well. So it's not just me trying to be on the camera and rant on the Rangers and being like, you guys got to watch it whether you like it or not. No. I want you guys to always feel like you're a part of this as well while I'm doing these lives. That's why I like interacting and talking with you guys on the chat, and I always comment back on all my clips and things like that because I want you guys to always feel like I'm never going to like, be this egotistical idiot content creator that doesn't respond to everyone and think, no. I'm going to always show love and support and always try to like, ask for ideas or recommendations from you guys specifically on what I should do to like, make you guys feel much more involved as a community for this channel. So you guys can feel free to hop on the comments, any video, even shorts. Let me know what I got to do more of, and I'll keep doing it because you guys see I keep improve, do more things. But like I said, it's good to get my feedback from you guys who click the subscribe button yourselves. It would just be greatly appreciated if you guys start doing that because like I said, I want to hear from you guys, the day one loyal fans, the guys that actually click the button. I want to hear from your side on how you like this channel, what I should do, what kind of recommendations to get you guys much more involved, even create a Discord chat. Like I don't care. Just put it out there and let me know. And like I said, I will definitely listen. You guys will never be ignored. Everything you guys say, I'll always respond to. So feel free to feel involved, man. I have no problem with that at all. And as always, y'all, thank y'all for watching. I really do appreciate y'all tuning in. And let's go Rangers. Good dub. Let's hope they can do this with the Isles, but still 50-50 about it. So we'll see what happens. And as always, y'all have a great night. Enjoy y'all week. Highlights will be on the way very shortly.